there, so Lauren Stewart here. Today I want to show you a few different ways to pose your body so that you are happy with the images that you get when you are taking portraits of yourself, when you are going and getting your portraits done. Although your photographer should be able to help you work with your body, it does help if you are already aware of your angles and things like that so that you can just hit those poses and get your pictures done. A few things. Don't ever stand like this. Don't ever lock your knees and push your hips towards the camera. Okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't like how my body looks when I do that, so I never do that. I always push my hips away from the camera, and I'm going to play with my arms and my elbows to make sure that I don't add extra inches up here, and so that I feel long and lean and beautiful when I have photographs taken of me. Okay, so first of all, I never stand square to the camera like this. Never. I don't like pictures of me. I mean, if you're like leaning forward and you're showing your cute jeans and you want to do it like that, that's a little bit different. When you are not showing your outfit for the specific purpose of saying these are jeans and I hope you love them, I would recommend either standing with your legs a little ways apart, standing with your legs close together and your knee pulled over. You can kick one behind as well, so the closer together, so when I bring my knees over, it automatically brings it over so that it looks like my hips come down into these tiny little legs. Going like this allows me to kick one of my hips out so that you can see my curves here. That's that one. And then if you cross a little bit behind, it allows you to pull your hips back, square your shoulders, and also lean so that you can see that you have a curve here. And that's one way you can drop down. So if you cross your legs and you're kind of leaning, you can drop this arm down and you can still see space here, so you know I've still got a curve here. Does that make sense? So here we go. So legs crossed, leaning this way here, and it shows a little bit of space. Okay? Another thing is to look a little bit slimmer. I like, if I'm going to be front onto the camera, I don't mind holding one of my kids in the pictures. It about cuts me in half. So that's another trick. I like to hold my babies right in here and push them right along the front, and not only do I get a phenomenal snuggle because my children both love that, it kind of cuts me in half so that I'm a little bit slimmer as well. Everything that I do is to make my body look long and lean. I am extremely short, so I try my hardest, including these, to look tall. Another thing that you can do is I like to get super tall through here, because let's face it, since I've had two kids, my chin is not quite what it used to be. Super tall through here, and I kind of flex a little bit in here and push towards the camera, and it gives me those like big huge eyes, and it slims out my neck and my chin. Okay, so here my chin a little off center, my shoulders off center, and I push towards you, and it shows this jawline here, so I like to push forward through here. Okay, so you can stand a little bit more square onto the camera and kind of lean in and turn just a little bit, pushing this out. And if you want to do something with your hands that's just like not like this, which I actually do, I think if you're going to do this, go ahead and give it everything you've got. But if you don't want to do this for your pictures, there are other things that you can do to give yourself space up here so that you can still see your skinny arms and your tiny little waist. Okay? Okay, so one thing you can do here is, so if I want to be forwards towards you, I can use my hands and I can kind of still lean into one of my hips here, put my hands a little bit off center, and just do something with them. So I'm like looking at my wedding ring, looking down, looking into my shoulder here. Something else that I've noticed that I do, and I've noticed that my clients, when I'm working with models, there's something that they do as well, and they use their shoulders quite a bit. So you don't really have to move your body that much, but if you move it just a little bit, it's going to change the look. So if you're starting here and you're coming in, you're looking at the camera here, and you want that pose, then you can also kind of drop it down in here, and that's another one. Okay, so here, you can play with your hair here. You can look this way here. You can look back down here at your rings. You can kind of look a little bit this way, like if I was peeking at my husband, who's not actually here, but if I was like looking at him this way. So that's, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks. in just one little tiny thing here, okay? So 5 different looks, and you really don't have to move your body that much. So that is one thing that I've noticed. I had a couple of sessions recently where I was actually shooting models as opposed to a client that had just hired me, and they don't move that much, okay? So my model can hit like 100 poses or whatever, whereas a regular person is kind of like, what do I do now? Whereas my model is like this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And she just is moving constantly. And she hits it long enough for me to take the picture. Oh yeah, you can drop that hand down here. That's another one. Come in here, come in here. So she doesn't move that much, but it gives the picture a completely different look, okay? And then there's, of course, when you want to show the back, the over the shoulder here. That one as well. So a couple of things to remember when you are getting your portraits taken. Anything that comes close to the camera is going to look a little bit bigger, okay? So I like to point my hips a little bit back. I like to, I don't push anything up here towards the camera, and I like to be shot from a little bit towards my left side. That's the side that I like. I feel more girly, more feminine. This is my good side. A couple of things. So you can play with your outfits as well. If you had a necklace, you could use your necklace here. You can, you know, do a little, oh, look how cute. Look at my dress. Play with your skirt here as well. Do not hesitate to get your hands up in your hair. Okay? Use your hair. Use your hair. Okay? Great. So don't forget, we want to be nice and long and lean and flex a little bit in here and push towards the camera so that you can feel slender. And it just gives, I mean, nobody wants 2 chins or 4 chins. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. Babies are super cute with a lot of chins. My little girl didn't have really any neck when she was born. After about 5 weeks, we called her No Neck Sally for a long time. She was so cute. She didn't have a neck. I like to have a neck, so I like to kind of push in. If my left side is what's at the camera, I'm kind of leaning into my left side here. Okay? That's another thing. Practice your looks in the mirror. Do you see this big thing here? I get out and I like try all my different angles in front of this mirror here and see what I like. If I'm wearing something I feel like it kind of gathers in one spot, I'm like, oh, I'm going to kind of watch for that when I'm getting my portraits taken today. So anyways, I hope this helps you out. My name is Lauren, and thanks for tuning in. You know who this is for. Thanks, girlfriend.